Hey, how's it going? Hopefully, Breathe, Play, Flow is going great for you so far. I know we've done a lot in these first couple of days with different things that pertain to yoga in sense of Om, mantra, postures of the day, setting time, setting space, learning how to set your intention, and now we're getting into some breath work. So a couple of days ago, we talked about regular deep belly breathing, just creating that very satisfying grounding breath. Yesterday we went into Ujjayi breath, which is a breath practiced in a lot of like Ashtanga or Vinyasa classes. It really helps to create energy and fire in the body and keep your mind really focused. Today we're going to talk about Kapalbhati breathing. Kapalbhati breathing is one of my favorite styles of breath work because it really is truly energizing. So you may have seen Kapalbhati breathing in different styles of yoga. You may have never seen it or heard of it. It's a very forceful breath, and when someone does Kapalbhati breathing, it really creates that energy and that fire and energizes them, as well as clears the nasal passages, creates this very clear path for the breath. It sounds kind of ironic and cliche and like obvious, but it really does work. Kapalbhati breathing is also really great for kapha doshas. So that's something we'll get into a little bit later in the program, just a little sneak peek into Ayurveda and how you can start to use the two together because they kind of go hand in hand, yoga and Ayurveda. You can't really have one without the other. So we'll get into that a little bit later and talk about the doshas and what they are. But just for now, if you don't know about the doshas, kapha dosha is kind of a heavier dosha. It's translates to like a water or mucusy kind of dosha. And so when you do this Kapalbhati breathing, you're not only creating energy in the body and really just like sparking that fire, but you're also breaking up the mucus and the nasty and the muck and the gross in order to kind of clear it away. So if you feel like you are, even if you don't know about Ayurveda or doshas, but you're kind of like a heavier person in the way you walk or the way you feel, or maybe you are really oily kind of, or you have a lot of mucus in your body. There's all sorts of different things. But if any of these things are kind of resonating with you, I'm partially kapha, so I have, a bigger build, dark hair, big eyes. Like these are kapha traits, and I am a heavier person, right? I don't have light bones, and it's really easy for me to just like hunker down and stay low, and just like stay in and chill and for a weekend, and I like that. So that is part of my dosha is kapha. So Kapalbhati breathing is really great for that, especially in the mornings or when I'm feeling slow or sluggish, to just break out this breath. And it's kind of like doing an inversion, right? For those of you who like to practice inversions, it really flips your whole world and like restarts the engines. So Kapalbhati breathing, the skull shining breath. If you have never done this before, I would suggest starting in small segments and only going for a short amount of time, so only a couple of rounds, and then you can start to work up to different reps in the rounds and different rounds as you go. So what it's going to be is a really deep inhale and a forceful exhale, and once that gets started, your inhales and exhales will just come. They're very passive, and your exhales will be a very forceful breath out. So the way to get that forceful breath is to draw that belly into the spine. So you're, it's hard to explain. So you're forcefully drawing the belly towards the spine and exhaling. So if that makes a little bit of sense, I'm going to demonstrate. Don't worry. The inhales will just come. You won't even really have to think about them because you're focused so much on the exhale and breathing the body out of that air through the nose, that really forceful breath. You're going to breathe. I mean, we're instinctively going to breathe. So don't worry so much about the inhales. Just focus on the exhales. So I will demonstrate for you, and we'll see how it goes. So when you're practicing Kapalbhati breath, also remember that this can be done anywhere and any time you want, right? So if you want to practice it just because in the morning when you wake up, you're feeling sluggish throughout the day, that's great. You can also start to weave it into your yoga practice. So right now I'm sitting in a hero's pose. It helps my spine stay straight and lengthened. So I'm just sitting back on my heels, knees bent in a comfortable position. You can take this on a block, you can sit on a bolster, whatever is good to create that long, nice, neutral, juicy spine. Versus like folding over or rounding or sitting in a kind of uncomfortable spot. So come to a comfortable seated position, right? Come into that deep belly breath. Just get some nice breath work going so we can start to warm the body up and tell it that we're going to do something, whether you're in the middle of a practice or you're just doing the breath work on its own. And then we'll start. So to start, so I'm going to show you my belly, pardon my belly, right? But it's kind of helpful to see. So to start, we're just going to take a deep inhale in and exhale out. And then when we begin, we inhale. Right? So Kapalbhati breath. So I'm taking a deep inhale through the nose, a deep exhale out of the nostrils, the nose, pulling that belly to the spine and creating that forceful breath. So I'm like pushing the air out of my belly by drawing that belly in. Good thing to do, maybe blow your nose before, right? If you have a stuffy nose, it really does automatically like wake up the body, bring all that oxygen throughout the body. And bring it to the front of the brain. So maybe it's good to do before you start working on a project, before you go to work, all that kind of stuff. So that's Kapalbhati breath. If you have any questions, let me know. I would start, again, like I said, slow, maybe do 20 breaths for 3 rounds. And then if you want to work up or can work up later in time, you can begin to do that. And then when you're done, just remember to drink lots of water. This is a cleansing practice, right? So it's a detoxification process. So we're ridding the body of those toxins. So we really need to put water back into the body to cleanse and clear out and give our body more nutrients, right? And make sure that it's got all the things that we need. If you have any questions, like I said, just let me know. Hope this is a good lesson for you, and try it out, right? You're not going to do it wrong. It's not going to be embarrassing. Like, do it where you can, maybe no one sees you, so you can try it for the first time. It's a pretty great breath practice. So try it out. Let me know how it goes. Put it in the group, and I will chat with you all later. Bye.